Yes, we are. Now we're rocking. Go on, mate. Happy Friday, people. What is going on? I'm just adding something into chat, mate. Oh, you can't even hear me, mate. Now you can hear me. I was just nattering to myself, mate. Happy days. What? Okay, go on then. Let's get this started, mate. I hope I didn't clickbait you all from that thumbnail. That was actually when I was down in Koh Samui, in the island of Thailand, or one of the islands in the south of Thailand, earlier this year. And what an island it is, mate. And yeah, the island of Koh Samui, also that neighbors Koh Phangan and Koh Tao. So I'm actually going back to Koh Samui for April of 2026, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be in Thailand again then for probably like 6 weeks, mate. Which brings me on to the main subject of tonight's live stream, mate. Good evening, Shuab Gulan. What is going on, mate? Good evening to you. I hope you're good, and I hope you have a good weekend coming up, mate. I hope you're good. So yeah, we're gonna wait for a few more people to get on, and then we're gonna kickstart this thing. And this is most likely going to be a little bit of a long video. There we are. I'm just seeing that I am live up here, mate. Good stuff. We are. Happy days. Okay, let's go. Let's go, mate. Let's kickstart this thing. So for those people who are wondering, who haven't been on some of the streams over the last few nights, you will see that my last vlog was in Copenhagen in Denmark, and that is because I flew from Bangkok back to Europe. I got a really cheap flight after staying in Thailand for like 5 weeks, and then I have come back to Wales after that, mate. So if you're wondering, I am back in cold, wet, and windy. Yes, okay, and gloomy Wales right now, and I will be here for probably 6 weeks before I head out to another faraway destination. But I have got 2 places in mind over the next 6 weeks, which I'll be visiting, which will be Morocco, number 1, in like 2 weeks or less, and then the Scottish Highlands, mate. It's going to be fun. Scottish Highlands and Morocco. Toby Brick, what's going on, mate? Top man, was Da Nang? I want to go in Vietnam. You recommend? Mate, Da Nang is one of those places that I haven't been yet. I know it's like supposed to be like the Miami of Vietnam. So I only went to Hanoi actually and spent like 2.5 weeks up in Hanoi. I didn't even make it down to Saigon. But next time when I'm in that part of the world, probably after Thailand in April, I will make my way over to Cambodia, Vietnam, and I'll probably do some of Burma as well, or Myanmar, for those people wondering. But mate, this is going to be you can see that I'm kind of dragging ass a little bit because this is going to be a long-ish live, because I want to detail like as much as I possibly can and some of like real costs to live like an amazing life in Thailand. And I'm kind of, what I've been doing, for those people who don't know, I've been kind of living as a very budget traveler, or let's say person who lives in Thailand for temporary stages within the year, living off about £350 a month. So what I'm going to do in this live stream, for those people who have much more money coming in than I previously had when I was in Thailand not so long ago, I'm going to kind of increase that budget and show you exactly what, I don't know, maybe double or triple of what I have been living on in Thailand, what that can get you if you were to also make the leap and to move to the land of smiles. Sometimes it's smiles, sometimes it's frowns, but most of the time it's a good time. So yeah, we're going to go over that, the like total breakdowns of cost, including all of the list stuff that I have here and extras, and also in different parts of Thailand. For me personally, I've been around the block in Thailand as a country. I've been to all around down the south. I've done the central part. I've done the west. I've done the north. You know, I'm pretty well versed in the language of Thailand right now. Not the literal Thai language, but the scape of the country. But yeah, I will answer some questions as we go along, and also then towards the end of the stream. Traveling Ape, what is going on? I hope you're good. Where are you? Sorry if I keep doing this. I've like pulled something in my shoulder. Traveling Ape, where are you watching from, my brother? I'll be in Morocco early December, 10 days, just gonna have a stroll along the coast. Amazing. What parts is the coast in Morocco? Are you talking like from Marrakesh going up then past Casablanca up to like Tangier? Because I'm gonna be doing south from Agadir. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna start in, I think I'm gonna start up north. I'm gonna get a ferry over from Spain, and then I'm gonna work my way down south. So we're gonna be going in the opposite directions. And I will most likely be heading over in like 2 weeks from now, like the 20th of November. Okay. So before we start, and this is going to be a pretty deep dive, I know I'm reiterating myself, but I'm stalling a little bit because I know it's going to take a while. Traveling Ape, have a great time, mate. We're going to miss each other, but please do let everybody know when you come back on a stream about your experience. I'd like to know how the coastal trip has been for you, because I will do it slightly different. I'll probably do a lot of hitchhiking too. But yeah, also, is Morocco, is it going to be hot by the time we're there? Me in 2 weeks, you in a month, hopefully. Shaub Gulum, you ask again, brother, about insurance. I will actually go over that as number 11 on the list right here. So, yes. Side quest, Mali, mate. Let me drop my my Instagram in for you. My Instagram. By the way, I'm terrible at replying, so bear with me. Chrissy Boy vlog. Someone stole the Chrissy Boy, mate. Can you believe it? And again, for those people like who don't know what I'm doing, in Morocco, I'm going to be there in 2 weeks for 10 days, and then Scotland. So any donations or any kindness shown by you guys, that is going to be towards our adventures in the next month. All of that is going to be put to good adventuring, journey, story collecting, and storytelling use. So I appreciate in advance any donations that is sent within this live stream and through the duration of us going over this in full detail, mate. It's going to be good. Up north is a little cooler in Morocco, Traveling Ape says. And then Side Quest Mali, you say, appreciate that. I'm literally inspired by you, and I'm currently here vlogging on a budget. Also, let's link sometime. Awesome, mate. Where are you at the moment? Are you in Thailand? Bangkok, down south, up north, west, east? Where you at? Mate, keep it going. Like just remember when you're vlogging and you're on a budget, just put that like kind of hardship and suffering, put it to a positive use, you know, because the more you go out there and get after it, the more you experience, the more adventures you're going to collect with your camera. And then in turn, with that consistency, especially when you're on the road and you're always within some sort of action and adventure, mate, just keep going. That suffering is only, or should only, fuel you to just keep progressing, mate. So yeah, Bangkok's cool. Awesome. Enjoy it. Don't get stuck there in Bangkok, mind, because I know how easy it is to get stuck in Bangkok. Try and go over to some national parks. Go up north and beyond, like past Pai, go past Chiang Rai, go up to like the border of, you could go to Myanmar border, or you can go to, I'm not sure what the other border is, Laos. You know, go and explore those less explored regions. and it'll be a good adventure for you and also for those people, family, friends, viewers watching your vlogs. Anyway, okay, what I'm going to do in this stream, my friends, is I'm going to give you like the best, most real breakdown of costs if you're free and you're single and you've got, you haven't got that many responsibilities or commitments in your life. Pretty much, if you're the same as your good old mate Chrissy Boy, and you've got a kind of wanderlust in you and you want to go and explore, you want to get away from your hometown, maybe you want to get away from some friends and family for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever it is. This is for those people who just want to kind of break free of the current mold of their surroundings, the same conversations, the same people, the same to-do list from your job, the same everything that is around. And maybe, just maybe, like I have been for so many parts of the year in Wales, you are just sick, tired, and fed up with the damn weather. It's always raining here. I've been back like 1 week. It has rained for 7 days straight. And I'm happy to be back, but goodness me, I would jump on a flight back to Thailand like that. So if you're in a similar position and you just want to mix shit up, mate, you want to just go and experience some different views and different whatever, taste some different foods, meet some different people, then what I'm going to go over, if you've got a bit of money at your disposal, hopefully this is really going to help you. And I'm talking now specifically about Thailand because I'm pretty well versed in the country. This year alone, I've spent over 7 months in country, and that has been from the north, the west, the east, the central. That has been from down south, spending a lot of time in Bangkok itself. So anyway, I'm rambling. My passion and stuff is coming through. So I've got to learn to slow these moments down and continue to speak properly so I can convey my message appropriately and effectively. Okay. Shaub Gulum says, Chrissy Boy, #1 Thailand vlog. So much fun and entertainment in every vlog. Love it so much. Thank you so much, bro. You're absolute legend. I'm looking forward to getting back on the road in 2 weeks from now and giving you some more adventures. It'll be really fun. Thank you, bro. So if you're lacking commitments and responsibility in your life and you have the freedom and flexibility to take off for, like I said, a month, 2 months, and you've got some money in the bank, you've got some cash at your disposal, let's go over the full detailed cost breakdown of how much it will cost you to not just have, a normal, comfortable experience over in Thailand, but a great time. And I'm talking where you don't hold back too much. Yes, you are disciplined with your money, but you don't have to be as reserved as I have been over the last X amount of months in Thailand. And for those people who are watching and they don't know, I have been living in Thailand for £350 a month, which is about $450 to $500 US. Okay. Right. So first things first, let me just read Traveling Ape's comment. I'm 51, happily married, 1 kid, dog, rabbit, and love the adventures. It's what it's all about. South India next year for 2 or 3 months, then Thailand, Laos, and who knows after. Mate, raise that fist and give me a bump, brother. That is awesome. Bruce, go on, mate. South India, that is going to be wicked. Kochi, Kerala, Mumbai, what else? Mate, amazing. Really, I really like hearing that. So good on you, Traveling Ape. Okay, let's get into it, my mates. So accommodation, this is going to be a big one, right? And if I'm gonna go over 3 different places in Thailand with this breakdown. So number 1, we've got accommodation. And now bear in mind that some places are going to be more expensive than others in Thailand. For example, Koh Samui, one of the main and most expensive islands down the south of Thailand, that's going to cost more than, living in a more rural area in Thailand, such as regions within the north, Chiang Rai, Pai, and Doeng, some villages like that, right? So we're going to start with accommodation in Koh Samui, and just to reiterate, what I'm explaining now will be a 30-day cost breakdown, right? So you can take that as you like, but we are going to go through a month of cost breakdowns in a few places in Thailand, and then it's up to you to see how long you would want to stay in Thailand at the estimated kind of expenditure that I'm going to provide now. Okay, so like I said, I think if I was going to really move to Thailand and do it properly and stay there for a big chunk of the time of a year, let's say 9 months of the year, I would have to say I would go down to Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, or Koh Tao. I haven't been to Phangan, but I've heard it's magical. I have been to Koh Tao, which is a smaller island than the others, but Koh Samui, I spent 3 weeks there earlier this year, and it was bang spot on the money, mate. So without further ado, Chrissy, how about you just stop your rambling, mate, and then we take the good people, which are these legends who have given you their time on a Friday in the chat, watching your silly little but cute Welsh face, and get on with the accommodation, mate. Okay. So we're going to go first of all to Airbnb, and I'm not going to work out any sort of invisible budget before we start putting numbers down. I'm going to go through something that seems very reasonable and something at a cost where you could afford and you could have a great time without holding back on money too much. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So right now we're on Airbnb, and we're going to type in, to begin with, Koh Samui. Now, for the most part, what I'm talking about here isn't exactly traveling around backpacker style. When I'm saying we're going to break down costs for a month, I'm going to go with that we are happy in being stationed in one place for that 30 days and exploring that region like tomorrow isn't promised. And let me tell you, if you're going to be stationed in the likes of Koh Samui with surrounding islands around, you won't need to go back up to Bangkok anytime soon. I can assure you of that. Now, I'm not sure about how cheap or expensive certain months of the year get when you're in Thailand, but we're going to go from March of 2026, and this, I'm just picking this month and date out of the sky, March 1st of 2026 to April 1st of 2026. Okay. So 30 days. And let's say you're going, all of this is solo traveling, by the way. I know there's a lot of details to put in this, but you're going to go on your own as a solo legend, mate. So it's going to be one adult going to Koh Samui. All right. Now, also, I have been looking to go back to Koh Samui, and I will be in April of 2026. And I'm already looking at cheap places to stay. And mate, I already found a beach hut for £144 for the month, which is about 190 US dollars. So that is kind of like the bottom of the trough when it comes to costs in Koh Samui. But you can definitely live cheap. But anyway, I'm going off track. That's not why we're here. It's not why we're here, mate. Now, it seems that March is a pretty busy month because there's usually more homes available. And that is the hut that I was referring to that I would go back into right there. But, okay. So we're going to look for a home or a villa or an apartment in Koh Samui for the month that you're going to be there, okay? Or a lodge, and then we're going to put down the rough costs of it. So you've got a lodge here that you can stay in, which is your own lodge in a place called Taling Nagam in Koh Samui. It comes with a queen size bed, and then this is kind of the style of your apartment. Okay, pretty nice, pretty chilled, nothing special, but basic. So that's an example for £385 for the month. And then we're going to go into some sort of cabin style. That's pretty cool. So these are just kind of a range of different options you have. That is much more expensive. It's a tiki bungalow in Maret on the beach. Comes with a shower and a bedroom and a really nice space, actually. You are paying more of a premium for that just because I think it's right on the beach. And I've actually been to that bar / restaurant. It's very cool in a very cool area. So that is £550. You're pretty much living on the beach for that cost, right? All right, this is actually a perfect one. And this right here is one of the apartments that I would have stayed in having if I had more money during my time down there. And it's a villa in Koh Samui, and it comes with a really nice pool and surroundings. Now I know this is more expensive. This is £535 a month, but I will show you how like clean and chic it is. It's really nice. It's in the more jungly area, but very close to the beach and other places. Workspace, a nice bedroom, and then mate, it's pretty sweet. Then you've got your shower, and then you've got your outside sitting area, as well as this is the actual place. It's really cool. I so wanted to move in here before. I just wasn't able to at the moment, mate, at the moment. And then, yeah, this is your pool, okay? So we're going to go with, because you're okay for money, mate, and we're going to go with that tack. So this costs £535 for the month. Okay, so we're going to note that down. £535 for the month. And that is for our accommodation for our very own villa-style bungalow in the south of Thailand in Koh Samui. Okay, so that's number one. Now, for those people who use Airbnb and Booking.com, I'm only referring to Airbnb now because this is the platform that I use for the majority of the time that I'm away. You don't have to pay the likes of any bills, okay? So we've got right here, the second is bills, utilities, which are electric, water, gas, and Wi-Fi right here, okay? So usually, obviously, if you were in a proper rental, whether you were renting in London or America or Europe or anywhere else around the world, you have your rent for the actual apartment or room, and then you have your utilities, right? I think that's very standard. Everybody knows that. Now, what you don't have is then when you're in a place like this on Airbnb or Booking.com. All of that is accommodated for. All of that is included in the price, okay? And just if you did want to fact check me on that, all you would have to do is just scroll down through the information of each listing or the potential listing you were to go for, and then it shows you, such as what is included in the place: Wi-Fi, TV and stuff, air conditioning, okay? And it shows all of the other 25 amenities right there, which obviously include the gas, the electricity, the water, and the Wi-Fi. So to keep that matter simple, we are going to go with a big fat 0 for the cost of utilities, which is right there. Okay? And yes, I've listed this as living the dream in Thailand for 30 days at a time. And also, you've got flexibility then too. If you book somewhere for a month, which is going to be more cost effective, say you go to Koh Samui first and then you fancy going back to Bangkok, then you're really flexible in what you can do, especially using the likes of Airbnb for accommodation. So it's good, mate. It's good. Okay, so moving on to the third category on the list. All right. After this one, I will just go back and Sleep. I will go back and read some of the comments. I've just looked at Zarak's comment there also. Yeah. No, number 3 is food, which is groceries and also eating out in restaurants, right? For those people who have been following my Thailand stuff and all of the budget travel, you may know that I've been eating for around £3 a day, all right? Which, let's chalk it up to £100 a month, about 130 US dollars every month. Now, would I have liked to eat better during that time? Absolutely. Would I have liked to eat more food? Absolutely. Would I have liked more options with the food that I was eating? For example, I would like to go to one restaurant one night, and then I would like to eat some street food the next day. Maybe I'd have a delivery the next night, and so on and so on. Okay, so these are the things that in the future I will definitely consider when more money is in the bank when I'm traveling. But for you guys, and since you will have money at your disposal, we are going to go with a more increased budget for your time in Thailand. So for food, which again includes groceries for your apartment, okay, so fridge, cupboard stuff, and then also eating out. We could put, 3 meals a day into this category. Now, I was eating for £3 a day. I was eating a couple of pot noodles or ramens, one meal, maybe 2 meals out, and then bottles of water. So to really eat well in Thailand, okay, this is also adding in potentially a Western style restaurant for a cheeseburger and chips, or some pizza, or some other cuisine that you may fancy on any given day. We will go for £15 a day. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a lot of money, and it isn't, but what you can get in Thailand for food on about £15 a day is definitely significant. And for those people who have yet to experience the cost and quality of what that money provides, hopefully this video will inspire you to go and experience that firsthand. So that is £15 a day, which, let me work out on my trusty calculator here. Terrible math, mate. Terrible math. 15 times 30. Okay, so that is actually coming up to, I didn't know it was that much, but that's the reality. 15 times 30, £15 a day on food, which includes restaurants and groceries. That's £450 a month. Is that right? Yeah. 15 times 30. It is right, isn't it? Is it right? Yeah, it is right. So 450 quid a month, which sounds absolutely ridiculous in comparison to how much I was spending, mate. I was spending £3 a day, 3 times 30. Yeah, £90 a month I was spending on food. That's wild, mate. Okay, the next thing is, and this is completely optional, but before we get into number 4 on the list, let me just check back through comments ever so slightly and say hello to you legends that have decided to join me. Okay. Graham DeLacy, what is going on, mate? I hope you're good and you've had a good Friday. You say £350 is about 710 Australian dollars. That's next level. I can't wait to get my hairy ass over there. Oh, mate, that's funny. Yeah. 350 quid is what I've been living on. I've done a few breakdowns on it as well. And I'm probably going to do another video to show people in even more detail. But yeah, that's the kind of low luxury life I've been living in Thailand. Very budget, but yeah, doable. And yeah, when you've got to do it, you've got to do it, mate. Traveling Ape says, love seeing young folk like me doing this stuff. Awesome. Good stuff to you, bro. Ricky, good evening from London. Good evening from Wales, mate. Thanks for being here. Graham says, love your chats, Chrissy Boy. Great insights. I appreciate it. And I really, really do appreciate it. To know that I'm not just talking to myself, and I'm actually providing some sort of value to you, whether that be entertainment from time to time, experience, vicarious travels and experiences and stories, whatever it is. I'm really grateful for your time, because that is a valuable commodity and something we can't get or buy back. So time is precious, and I appreciate you wasting yours watching this guy right here. To whatever and beyond says, yes, lad, what's going on, mate? Benny Global is in the chat. What's going on? Good evening from Nottingham. Good evening from Wales, mate. Traveling Ape says £550 a month is so much cheaper than rent in the UK. Mate, I know. This is like the thing. Like, you know, it's not only free and single people that go to Thailand. Couples could go and live there together, and they'd split all of the costs, and it would be half the cost for everything. You know, it's like people retire to Thailand and live great lives. And I'm not like, I guess in a way I am like advocating Thailand, if that's the right word, just because, you know, it's helped me so much to live out of the UK and to experience a different way of life. And yeah, and I just feel like I should give back a little bit, you know. Zarak says, hey, Chrissy Boy, I recently permanently lost a monetized YouTube channel I worked on for 3 years. I only made a few $100 total off it, but it hurts like I just lost my life savings. Oh, mate. That is a tough pill to swallow, and I'm really sorry to hear that, mate. That sucks, the big one. Yeah, I'm going to put myself in your shoes in a second, and I will answer that question up, mate. But you said, I waited for you to stream again so I can ask you specifically, what's your philosophy? What's the best way to mentally overcome material losses like this? Mate, look, at the end of the day, right now, it's going to sting. It's going to be like a wasp sting. It's fresh, it's new, and it's unexpected. So, mate, you know, it's going to be a tough few days, I'd imagine, and you know, maybe that'll overlap to a week. Now, it's the same as wounds, and it's the same as heartbreak. Time does heal them, but time does take some time to heal certain things at different levels. And to put myself in your situation now, with a YouTube channel coming up 3 years, despite whether you've made £1 or £1 million from the channel, it doesn't matter. It's almost like it's your baby, like you said it's like your life savings. So I can completely relate to that. Mate, I'd say at the moment, and this can probably be one of the toughest things to do, I would say to try and just let it be for a while. Like, you know, don't be ignorant to it. Be aware of what's happened. Acceptance is going to be a big part of it, knowing that, you know, you haven't got that right now. And then potentially when you've slept on it, when you've stopped the heightened levels of anxiety and frustration, I would then look towards getting that channel back, because you can definitely do it with the right information and the right strategy and time. Come up with something effective and research how you can get that channel back. And yeah, don't just think that because you've lost it right now, you've lost it forever. If there's a will, there's a way. And I hope in some way, shape or form that's helped. I know it hurts and stings like a bitch right now. And I feel for you, but I hope everything will get sorted soon and you can sleep tonight and tomorrow night, and hopefully you'll feel better with each morning that you wake up. But yeah, give it a few days, mate. Have a little research, think what you can do, and then reach out to YouTube and whatever you need to do in potential of getting that channel back, then go through those steps, brother. All right, mate, I'm going to continue on here, and then we will we'll answer some back again. All right, so where were we? We are on number 4 of the costs in Thailand, total cost breakdown. And for those people who've just joined, this is accommodation, bills and food for a 30-day period in Koh Samui in Thailand. So the next thing, and again, this is optional, this is moped rental, right? Personally, I've had a few hard knocks with the mopeds over the years, most recently in Bangkok 3 weeks ago, but I wasn't driving. I was on the back of a moto taxi. So it is completely up to you if you were to rent a moped or not. But if you chose the former and you decided to do so, then you can get a moped, and I'm talking like an actual moped, not a motorbike, for anywhere between £4 and £6 a day. Okay, £4 and £6 a day, you can rent a moped. And, you know, I will include this cost into the overall cost just as like a complete cost breakdown. And then, you know, any of these you want to take away, you can do that on your own accord when adding up your own budget for Thailand. And hopefully it's similar to the outcome of our stream today. So moped rental is going to be, let's average that between £4 and £6 a day then. Let's just go for £5 a day if everyone's happy with that. Between £4 and £6 a day. And I'm only saying a moped because, well, motorbikes are going to cost you a lot more. Obviously, if you're going to rent a Jeep or a car, you can also. But I'm going to talk what most people do, and that is rent a moped for about £4 to £6 a day. So £5 a day times 30 days in a month. That again is £150. And at the end of this, I'll put the USD equivalent to for my American viewers. You absolute legends. So moped rental is going to be £150. And I know I keep going back to saying this, reiterating, but this is for those people who want to not hold back too much when it comes to their monthly living in Thailand, and you've got some money to blow and you want to really have a good time, then this right here, this breakdown's for you. I'm not talking about my own budget breakdown where I've been living for £350 a month in Thailand. This is for those people who have more money than I have and want to live really well in Thailand, okay, for a month or so on. Okay, the next thing then is something that I'm really not familiar with because I never actually take them out. And we're on number 5 now, and that is an unlimited data SIM card, right? So I know the likes of some companies do it like Olafly and things like that. But I believe in Thailand, in the likes of 7-Eleven, you can get a SIM card for about £6 or £7 for the month. And I think maybe even less, because Duncan, my mate now, who is living in Bangkok, he got one from, I want to say it was Lotus, which is the equivalent to like a Walmart in the US or a Tesco in the UK, the other day for about £6 for the month. And I believe that was unlimited data for his SIM card. Okay, so mate, the SIM cards are cheap. I actually don't know why I don't get them when I'm abroad. Like, I've never got them. Not when I was in Peru, Guatemala, Africa, Pakistan, India. I've never got one. Anyway, I advise that you do, just in case you get yourself into a situation, or, you know, just for overall convenience, it's really easy. So SIM cards are cheap and convenient, and do as I say, not as I do, mate, you know? So we're going to go with a SIM card with unlimited data for the month. We're going to bump that up just a little bit in case I've got my numbers wrong. So we're going to go with £8 a month. I know Duncan got his in Thailand the other day for like 6 or 7. So we'll go up £1 or 2 on that, and that will be £8. All right. This is good. Let me know what you think, guys. Let me know. This is fun. And also, people have been asking, where is my next adventure? And in about 2 weeks' time, I'll be going to Morocco. I've been wanting to go back there for like a year since I was there last time. And I most likely, and money depending, going to make a little bit more of an adventure of it. I don't just want to fly to Marrakesh. I actually want to cross from somewhere in England. I don't want to give it away. And then I'm going to end up pretty much on the, how can I say this without giving it away? I'm going to go overland to Morocco. That's what I'll say. And then instead of starting in the traditional Marrakesh, I'm going to start on the polar opposite side, which is going to be up north near Tangier, and also across the water, which allows a ferry to come over from Gibraltar. So that's where I'm going to start and then work my way south, as opposed to what most people would do is start in Marrakesh, then branch inland or go north. So that's going to be really fun. And the donations that people have been sending and continue to send will be funding that journey. So in advance, I really appreciate some of the donations that you've been sending, and for those donations that you keep sending. Thank you so much. All right, so number 6 on the hit list right here is transport, okay? And I've even listed now as a grab bike, all right? We're going to go with a grab bike transport at an average of 2 daily trips, okay? And yes, even if you've got the moped, we're still going to add this into the costs, just because sometimes, you're going to have a few drinks, right? And you're not going to drive the moped. Maybe you will if you're an idiot, but hopefully you don't. And instead you book a motorbike taxi and you get home or to and fro from bars safely. So, mate, this really depends, okay? Now, don't get butthurt if I don't get this spot on, but I'll give you an example of how much a 30-minute trip in Bangkok has cost me lately, okay? And I'm just going to get the equivalent for this, which is around 80 baht for a 30-minute moped trip from the taxi app, which is Grab. So 80 baht, and I know this is the case. Sometimes it's even less, a little more sometimes at different parts of the day. That is 80 baht, okay, for one moto taxi ride, about 25 to 30 minutes in Bangkok, okay? So we're going to play with the law of averages here and move that down to being the same in Koh Samui in the south of Thailand, right? So it's about £2, £1.80 for that ride. And we're going to give ourselves 2 rides a day on average, okay? So let's bump that up to £4 a day to work it on averages. £4 times 30. And again, this will be with you having the moped as well. 4 times 30. And that is £120 for your taxi moped transport per month. Sometimes you might only have 1 trip a day, sometimes 0. Sometimes you might go absolutely crazy, mate, and you might have 3 or 4 trips a day. Usually not. Like the likes of Thailand is really convenient, and I personally like to walk like as much as I possibly can. Number 1, because I get to experience more, see the sights, and number 2, it's good for getting steps in, mate. So transport, specifically with Grab taxis, which is number 6, 2 trips a day at about £2 each is going to be £120 for the month. Okay. Next up is one of the most important, and that is, mate, your gym membership. If you're not staying in shape, well, I'm not sure. You should be, because it's good. Staying in shape and being in shape is great for mental, physical well-being. Well, you look better with your clothes off, mate. It adds confidence to you, and overall, you just feel better when you're working out. Endorphins are flowing, and yeah, you just feel and look better, mate. Training is a must, in my opinion. So gym membership, your average gym membership in Thailand, and mate, this is referring to actual gyms, not Muay Thai gyms. We are not going to go with the luxury of getting a Muay Thai membership for 30 days, because it can literally cost like hundreds of pounds, because Thailand has bigged itself up for the national sport to cost a lot of money for foreigners to get in on that. So we're going to avoid that little tourist trap. Nah, it's not a tourist trap, but it is expensive because it's such a unique and specific sport. So we're just talking gym memberships for the likes of the equivalent in the UK, Pure Gym, or, what else? fitness first, those sort of things, a gym membership, which is probably going to set you back around £20, believe it or not. Some you can get cheaper, some are more expensive. But for £20, you're going to get your average basic gym membership. And if you were to pay per session down in some of the gyms in Koh Samui, you'd end up paying like £1.50 to £2 a session anyway. So if you're staying put in somewhere for a month, in our specific example, you're staying put in Koh Samui in the south of Thailand, the most expensive yet popular island down in Thailand, then you're going to get yourself a gym membership. Whether you go once a day or 3 times a week, it doesn't matter. Get yourself a gym membership. Whether you're doing yoga or whether you're doing weights or whether you're doing cardio, whatever it is, sign up to the gym, mate. And that's going to cost you around £20 a month. Okay? And that will bring us on to number 8 in a few minutes. I just want to stop a little bit and go over the chat for you guys and see what's knocking around. Also, drop a love heart, guys. A little click in the old chat if you're enjoying this. I'd really appreciate it, just to have some confirmation that this is valuable or it's helping you in some way, because that's it. For one, it motivates me to put more energy and detail into what I'm talking about, and 2, it allows me to do more of these on a consistent basis. And I think it's a good way to communicate with my mates, who are you guys in the chat, and build a better connection for us long term. Also, for recommendations on places that you want to see me go, which then in turn helps you to see more of the places with me together, So I think it's important. Okay, let me just go back through a little chat, mate. Yeah, okay, so Traveling Ape. Farang Travels, what is going on, mate? I hope you're good. Richard Bicker says £15 a day for food is way too much. Mate, I agree. It is. But I'm referring here to examples where people don't hold back, and that could be an average per day over the course of the month. But some people might want to go out for a bottle of wine in the evening and a nice pizza in an Italian restaurant and maybe only eat breakfast that day. And, that could amount to £15 a day, £15 for that meal alone. Sometimes more, sometimes a little less. But I'm going with the approach here that people have a little more money to spend in Thailand than I have done previously. And this is what I would do if I did have a little more financial flexibility during my time in Thailand. So I'm kind of doing this kind of wishful thinking in the future for myself. And maybe this is subconsciously why I'm making this vlog, because this is something that I am gearing towards, just having more flexibility with my travels. Even though I love the whole budget thing, this more is for those people who have more financial flexibility. So yeah, 15 quid a day. It is a lot for food. I was living on 3 quid a day. What are you talking about? Ren Zero says, when's your next trip, broski? So again, I think I've mentioned this like 11 times in this stream already. My fault. Is Morocco. I'm going to travel Morocco for about 7 to 10 days on the 20th of November or around that. Yeah, and then Scotland next month. Yeah, Farang Travels. When you turn to okay, mate, I'm just reading over some comments that I'm not commenting on. Sorry. Travels with Rahana. What's up? Hope you're good, mate. It's awesome to see people dropping in on Friday nights. I know it's like family time, or if you live in Wales, beer time, mate. So Travels with Rahana says, hi Chris, what's your advice for a solo female travel doing this for a month? I know Thailand is safe. I've been a couple of times, but not on my own. Rahana, I would say, Thailand's sweet. I don't think there is a lot of horror stories that come out of the country. I think as long as you, and this goes for everywhere you go. This could be in your hometown, your local city. This goes for everywhere, rural, not so rural. Just do your due diligence on the place that you're going. So say you're starting out in Bangkok, maybe do a bit of research into the district you're in. Is it near a certain monument that's popular? Is it near a convenient street where there is more tourists, if that makes you feel more at ease? Also just have a hyper awareness on. You've got to always be hyper aware when you're traveling. Be that if you think it's a safe country or a more sketchy country, you've just always got to be very on with awareness and know your surroundings, and your peripherals have got to be active and all of that. It's the same as everything. Be that with your friends or on your own. I believe personally you'd have a great time. I have met, and I'm sure you can believe this, many solo female travelers around Thailand and other parts of Asia. I even met some in Pakistan, and they had a great time with the freedom in, wherever they wanted to go. The day they could dictate where they wanted in the day, and it's a very freeing feeling. As a female, probably a little different from going as a male, but again, I think you'll be absolutely fine, and you'll never know until you try. So if you decide to go, have a swell time, mate. Richard Bicker says, do you use earplugs to sleep when it's noisy? When I'm traveling, I hate hearing chairs scraping in apartments or people or TV blasting, etc. I actually sleep really well. And, the way that I have traveled over the years, or let's say more recently, is I actually don't stay in many hostels these days, because I do a lot of research into rooms with shared kitchens and shared bathrooms, and also just cheap, tiny, grotty little rooms or apartments that I can stay for the same price, if not cheaper, than hostels. And most of the places that I have been staying, thankfully, have not had too much noise. But I did used to wear earplugs. And I remember one night when I was in Istanbul in Turkey, before flying to India, it was like the worst of noises in that stupid dorm all night, effing long, mate. It was doing my absolute Sweden. And it was like, I think that was the time, that night in Istanbul, when I caught maybe like an hour and a half of sleep. And I was like so annoyed at the people next to me. I just, I think that was the transition where I was like, I need to make a go of this YouTube thing. I cannot be sleeping in hostels all the time. I would rather sleep in a tiny little closet room with a thin mattress on the floor with spiders and mosquitoes biting me all night than sleep in hostels anymore. Like, the snoring alone does me in, mate. So, the same with you, especially like people listening to like YouTube or TikTok or whatever else noise comes from their phone and not wearing headphones. Like, mate, these are like what? A couple of quid at best. Like, come on. Everybody can afford headphones. If they can afford a phone, they can afford headphones. Just the noise of like TikTok. Mate, that does my absolute bin in. Mate. Benny Global, Charity Bro. Mohammed, what's going on, mate? Yo, bro, how are you? I'm well, thank you so much, bro. Greetings from boring and cold Copenhagen. That's so annoying and weird that you're from Copenhagen, mate, and I was like just in Copenhagen. I slept rough as well, bro. I slept rough in Copenhagen, and I was like, oh, mate, if I knew Mohammed was there, I would have called you up, mate, and been like, lad, have you got a sofa Chrissy Boy can stay on? But maybe next time, eh? Because Copenhagen is literally like £13 flight from my local airport. 13 quid flight, mate. So I might have to come back over. Who knows? Yeah, Benny Global to Zarak should be able to appeal to get the channel back, mate. So if you're still in the chat, mate, hopefully there's a little bit of spur for you to first sit on it, reflect, and come up with something of how you can regain your channel, brother. Yeah, Farang Travels says most important thing is travel insurance. Well, we have still got a lot to cover on the list, before we get down to number 11, which is exactly that. Zarak, you've acknowledged that with the channel recommendation, mate, and I hope all is good. Fingers crossed for you, bro. And hopefully, I know you can let us know in the future live streams how that's getting on. Houdini 69. Cheers, Chrissy Boy. Lots of love. Good luck on your travels. From Benny Boy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I look forward to taking you guys through Morocco. I think it's going to be a great time. And I know that people aren't visiting Morocco as much as before. I think, with the chaos of the UK and the European countries at the moment, there's so much drama, there's so much conflict, there's so much unease and uncertainty around us and in general in the world. It feels that people are leaning more towards the news, which is negative media, and also people are clicking and going crazy for conflict. People go crazy for war. People go crazy for fights. They go crazy for violence. They go crazy for all of that. And it seems we are hitting a stage in our world at the moment where all of that and more is extremely heightened. And I think it's showing so much on YouTube, and people are capitalizing on that big time. And it feels like some of the countries that we should be visiting for culture, for tasting different foods, for meeting different people and having different refreshing experiences are going amiss. And it's I want to keep having fun traveling traditionally and doing it because I love doing it, not for clicks or rage baiting or whatever else. Like that's my philosophy on it. You've got to get out there and do things for the right reasons. And I always go back to what PewDiePie said about YouTube, and he says, as long as you're having fun, you can't lose. And it seems that a lot of people these days, creators and people who watch all of the stuff, it feels like they're not really enjoying the process, and the negativity is really steering them in a dark direction. And maybe I should stop this rant now because it is entirely different from what we've been discussing. So with that being said, let's get back onto number 8 on our list. And again, if you've just joined, we are going over a cost breakdown of living in Koh Samui for 30 days. Okay. And we're doing that on not a budget, but on a financial availability that allows you to really live well, or as the title of my notepad says, living the dream in Thailand. Okay. So the polar opposite to how Chrissy Boy has been living over the last X amount of months in Thailand, which is £350 for the month. All right, this is one that I'm not too familiar with. That's a lie, Chris. You're not familiar with it at all, mate. Number 8 is laundry/washing. Now, mate, if someone in the chat, right, could tell me how much it costs in Thailand or Asia to wash, I don't know, a backpack full of dirty, sweaty gym clothes, then be my guest. Put it in the chat and I can add up how many washes one would have a week. Hopefully just the one, because it seems excessive if you have like 2 or 3. And then we'll add that cost up for the total monthly amount. So I'm not sure, mate. Maybe we go with something like 20 quid for laundry a month. Does that seem like excessive? To me, it sounds a lot of money, but I'm not sure if no one's dropping in the comments, for example, how much you think, like, let's say, I don't know, 4 to 6 loads of washing a month. How much washing does one person need to do? Do women do more than guys? Do guys do more washing than women? I really don't know. But do you think it's a good estimate to put down £20? Like £20 to do a bag full of washing once a week? So £20 for the month, £5 a week. Yeah. I feel like people are like looking at me and saying, no, it's going to be much more than that. We're going to go with it anyway. So, and again, this what I've put here, the laundry and washing, this isn't going to be from your apartment. I'm talking like taking your bag of washing, mate, right? Taking your bag of washing, down to the laundrette lady and her saying, okay, good. Thanks for your really smelly bag of clothes. This right here, Chrissy Boy, is going to cost you £5 a week, okay? And I know you're only going to wash your clothes once a week. So guess what? 4 times 5 is 20, which means £20 a month for your laundry, which means we, my mates, are bang on the money. All right. Okay. Any questions with that? Hopefully not, and we can move past this laundry topic. And for those people wondering, it is not beer. And don't spill it, Chrissy Boy. That is just ice cubes and water in there. I've been sober now for far too long. Something like 9 days. All right, the next one is going to be a biggie, mate. It is going to be a biggie. And this is something where I could definitely, mate, if I'm living down in Koh Samui, spend a lot of the wedge, you know? So number 9 is going to be partying. Yeah, we love to party. This human species that we're a part of, mate, we love to party. We love to get on whatever substances and drink whatever drinks there are if we can afford it and just go a little bit wild. All right, so partying, I have averaged now, okay, a little conservative, but 1 night a week. Okay, 1 night a week, you're going to go out and you're going to have a great time. Now, this right here is going to be if you drink alcohol. Now, of course, if you don't drink alcohol, you can just ignore this bit completely. But if you do and you enjoy having a party and a good time and going to the club, mate, banging some tequilas, hitting some beers, mate, having a boogie, then this right here, number 9, partying, we are going to go with £50 a week. Okay, £50 a week you're going to spend on booze in the clubs, in the bars, mate, drinking some cold ones. Okay, now, some of you might think, who have been to Thailand, that is cheap, or some of you might think that's expensive. Okay, yeah, so partying, we're going to go with £50 a week. So that is going to be £200 a month. Okay, and you know, in Thailand, booze really isn't that expensive. So you know, you buy beers and you buy some whiskey and you go and buy a few beers and tequilas out, mate. It's not going to cost you a whole lot. Anyway, so we've gone with probably a more increased budget for partying, but £200 for the month, mate. All right. Okay. The next one, and we've got 3 more to cover, and the last 2 are especially important. But and again, this is optional. Number 10 is massages, right? Because everyone loves a Thai massage, even though I've only had like 4 in my entire time that I've spent in the country of Thailand, which seems extremely low for, you know, someone spending a lot of time in Thailand. But anyway, so a good massage for about an hour can set you back about 400 baht. Okay, 400 baht for an hour. Let me work this out. 400 baht to pounds. Sometimes cheaper, sometimes more expensive, but we're going to throw it up a little bit more just in case people verbally attack me saying, no, you can't get it for that. That's way too cheap. So we're going to go for the higher end of a massage, full body Thai massage, not including any naughty extras, people, or maybe, but we're not going to include that in the price. So 400 baht, which is just shy of £10. And we're going to go for 2 massages weekly. Okay. So £20 a week on massages, which is 2. So £80 for the month. And again, this could be for people who want to go and like live in Koh Samui and who have got a lot of savings and they've got cash in the bank and potentially they've got an income stream from online. So some sort of income. And yeah, this is kind of what we're working out now. But I would like to stop the stream and just say, Mr. Tony, thank you so much for sending that 10 squidders my way, mate. You absolute legend. I really appreciate that. Raise the fist and hit it with a big bump, brother. Go on, mate. That is awesome. Let me drop a like and a heart on that. Mate, that's so cool. It won't let me like it for some reason, but I've just hearted it. Mate, that's really, really kind and supportive and helpful. And I promise to put it to good use when I'm traveling in Morocco. And for those people who have sent and are sending donations my way, I really appreciate it. And just know that I will do as much as I can to give you a great experience and some stories in the next few adventures of my travels, which is going to be Morocco, Scotland, potentially then Cuba or Pakistan again. But whatever it is, wherever I am and whatever I'm doing with whoever I'm doing it, I promise that every penny of the donation is going to go to a good cause for our adventures to experience life better. And thank you so much again, Mr. Tony. That is absolutely awesome, mate. Go on. Amazing. And while I'm at it, let's just answer some more questions so we're up to date and we don't have to linger too much at the end. Richard Wunton says, bro, are you going to get back on a bike after the accident? Mate, yeah, I have been and I will continue to. I think, you know, bike accidents can happen the same as any other accidents. That's why they're accidents. And I could have prevented, you know, some sort of post-accident anxiety that I had by wearing a helmet and not, for one, jumping on the back of a taxi when it was a stormy monsoon night in Bangkok. And it was like huge traffic. It was pretty much rush hour. It was dark. It was sopping wet. I wasn't wearing a helmet and I was vlogging. There was several components there where I should have thought ahead and made my way in a different manner to the bar to meet my friend, but I didn't. And I actually got on a bike that night too, and the following time that I was in Thailand, but I wore a helmet. And yes, just because bikes, you know, be it that your own moped or taxi mopeds, they're so convenient in Thailand. And it's like something you can't really not do. I know my friends Frankie and Sean, they never go on them. They take taxis and go on the SkyTrain in Bangkok. But for me, it's like if I can just jump on a moped and then head to this bar or to see this bird or go and see my mate over here, and it cuts down a lot of the time, well, that's just the kind of personality I am. Kind of stupid in a way, I guess. But yeah, mate, I have been back on the bikes and I will continue to go on the bikes after the accident. Okay. Farang says, interact with the chat more would be good. Okay, mate. I will, exactly like I'm doing now. So I hope this is good. Just to drop in on Mr. Tony at the bottom, mate, again, you said, you are welcome, lad. Lad, I love that, mate. You're welcome, lad. I've gotten a lot from your videos and insights. That's amazing to hear. Thank you so much. And once again, huge love and appreciation for your kindness and support there, mate. That's wicked. Because that £10 that you sent will literally pay for like 2 nights in an Airbnb for me in like a part of Morocco. So that's amazing. Or it will pay for like 3 meals. Or it will pay for, I don't know, an overnight sleeper train to another part of Morocco. So, you know, when people send £5, £10, £20, £50, it adds up to a huge amount for someone who can budget travel the way that I do. These pounds rack up and they can really save my ass as well. So I'm really, really grateful. Again, Tony. Yes, mate. Legend. And again, Mr. Tony says, I'm heading out to Thailand for the first time in December by myself. Watching your channel, others have helped me take the plunge. That is wicked, mate. That is wicked. Also, where are you watching from, bro? Mr. Tony. That's so cool, mate. That's so cool. And if you want, I'm not sure how deep you've scoured into Chrissy Boy's channel, mate. But if you were to go on to playlists on the channel, and maybe you've done this already, but just in case you haven't, and I want to just help a little more, just in case you haven't, go onto the playlist of the channel, which is, well, you know where they are, on the menu section. Go into the playlist, mate, And there you should find 3 Thailand playlists. Okay, so number 1 is the No Money in Thailand 2.0. The second is No Money in Thailand 1, which is this one here. And then the first or the last one is the Thailand playlist at the bottom. So I think I've wrapped up like well over 120, 130 videos in Thailand of different places, doing different things, different encounters and experiences and adventures. So hopefully if you haven't seen a lot of those videos, just scour the playlist for Thailand. And yeah, I hope that helps as well, mate. There's some stupid stuff in there, but there's also some fun stuff too. Yeah, and I hope that with each vlog and live stream that I'm doing, I'm progressing to increase value and entertainment and insights in some way. So, you know, hearing that feedback is really encouraging for me, and I really appreciate it. So, best of adventures, Mr. Tony, in Thailand. You are going to have a whale of a time, mate. Let me tell you that. Let us know how you're getting on as well. When I'm doing a stream, drop in if you can and say where you are in Thailand, what you're doing, and maybe, mate, how much money you've spent. Tom Bulek, what's going on, mate? Good morning and good night, Chrissy Boy. Which country do you consider your second home? Oh, mate, that's a tough question. It's a really good question. My second home. Haven't really thought about it, mate, if I'm honest. My second home. I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one. I'd be inclined to say like Thailand, but I don't think it is. Like, it's a great place. It's a good place to live for like X amount of months. And it's a cool place to travel, Thailand. But I would say right now, I don't have that sort of second home. I have places around the world that I love, but second home wise, I haven't found that exact comfort just yet. And that's probably why I'm exploring more of the world to find that base of a second home. But yeah, let me know where you guys consider a second home. But for me at the moment, it's just Wales and the UK for me. Despite it being wet and windy, gloomy, and partly depressing year round, I still consider it my number one home because, well, it is. The weird world of Whitaker. What is going on, mate? I like the channel name. Go party in Isan. It's way cheaper. I have heard. I met a load of chicas from Isan in Hua Hin the other week when I was down there partying with my mate Duncan. And yeah, they said Isan is a little wild. So I'll have to hit that up when I head back to Thailand next year in April. The weird world of Whitaker also adds, happy ending blows out the cost more though. Oh mate, hopefully there's none of that going on when you go there. You don't need to pay for any of that stuff. Trust me. You just go out and ask a chick if she wants a drink, mate. Buy her a drink, have a good conversation, maybe take her to a cool event or something. And mate, you definitely don't need to pay for it directly. In a way, I think you're always paying for it when you take a bird out, but in the best way, right? So yeah. All right. We're going to go through the last, mate, we're on to the last two. So we'll do this at the end, but I'll give you a little show, not tell glimpse of what we've been over. Yeah, this is 30 days in Koh Samui. Again, one of Thailand's most popular and expensive southern islands. And what we're discussing is just a average, no kind of or limited holding back on funds over a 30-day period. All right. If you're thinking about jumping into the Thai scene, mate, and having a great time. Yeah, you know how it is, mate. We like having a good time, and we just like having a laugh, mate. So the next thing is travel insurance, okay? So travel insurance it's a big one. It is a big one, but I, for one, ignore travel insurance just because personally, I haven't had positive experiences over the years in making claims and being paid out for my troubles, let's say. So I've stopped personally doing travel insurance when I head to countries, but you know, it's one of those things as do as Chrissy Boy says, not as Chrissy Boy does, because I think personally with limited funds in the bank and no savings, I would be a little bit screwed, capital S, if something was to happen and potentially the travel insurance in the end was to pay out and I didn't have it. I would be in a little bit of a bad predicament, right? So let's just go over travel insurance and see, for example, how much 30 days in Thailand would cost, right? And if any of you in chat have an experience of travel insurance in Asia for a month, and let's say like unlimited, let me know in the chat. How much is travel insurance in Thailand for 1 month for full cover? Right, we're going to get an estimate on this, and I'm typing it in on my laptop to the search here. So let's see, mate. And for one, again, this is optional. I would, you know, I would probably get it if I was you. And some companies charge you per month, or some you can just pay for the entire travel insurance up front. Okay, so as a rough guide, a 1 month single trip policy in Thailand could cost you around £40. That's for basic cover. And then it can go up to anywhere between £80 and £100 or more for a comprehensive policy. Okay, so you would probably want to take out the latter and have a fully comprehensive policy just because, well, if you've got a little bit of extra cash, it will provide you with that peace of mind. Okay, and if, you know, if I knew that a travel insurance would most likely pay out, I would be inclined to go with it too. All right, so that search has come back between £80 and £120 for the month. Let's go with an average of £100 for that single month for fully comp travel insurance in Thailand. Okay. So right now we are down to the last one before totaling up all of these costs. But before that, let me just go over some of the comments. Warwick Newport, what's going on, mate? I hope you're good. Are we talking about Newport Gwent, lad? If so, well, it's close enough to have a beer together. Chrissy Boy, loving the videos, brother. Been watching for a while. You done the Philippines yet? Awesome place. Mate, I haven't. So I would love to go to the Philippines. Where have you been in the Philippines? I would like to go and venture around for a couple of months. If I'm going to do it, I want to do it properly. So yeah, I have actually been wanting to go to the Philippines. I was going to go like 2 weeks ago after Thailand, but mate, I just needed a break, in all honesty. Sometimes traveling just takes its toll and you need to just kick back for a month. So I thought, why not re-energize and then go in the new year? So that's actually, Philippines is one of the countries where I want to go next year. I want to go to Afghanistan and Pakistan again. And then I want to do the Philippines. And then also I want to do Cuba and potentially Brazil. So yeah, but the Philippines is definitely up there for sure. Welsh Patriots, what's going on, mate? What's up, Chrissy Boy? Welsh Patriots, you legend. You gave me a nice shout out on your YouTube yesterday morning, I believe, mate. You hyped one of the videos. I'm really appreciative of that. Thank you, mate. That's awesome. Welsh Patriots, good lad. The weird world of Whitaker, Mr. Tony. Thailand is country you can have a great time solo. Friendliest country on earth. Agreed. You'll have a great time. That's for sure. For sure you will, mate. For sure you will. All right. So I actually, for the people that are on the chat right now, let's do this together, right? So the final cost that I have is something that I've never had before or considered, and that is a emergency fund pot, right? Emergency fund pot for, I don't know, whatever, what components fall into that, I'm not sure. Maybe like a emergency flight out of the country. If you've got insurance, I don't think it's going to be healthcare, but maybe we can factor that in. What else of kind of emergency components can we add into that fund? I'm not sure. If we're in Thailand for 1 month, what is an emergency fund? Emergency beer pot, maybe. But let's go with like a flight out of country, and let's say it's like on the same day that you want to leave. I'm really not sure what else I can add that up to. Okay, so let's double this is definitely going to be like extra. This is not going to be within the month breakdown, but I wanted to put this in just because I think a lot of people will be like, yeah, but you can't go with like just the monthly cost we're talking about. You have to have some other financial backing, whether that be for peace of mind or for potentially something else disastrous that might happen. So let's put an emergency fund, and I'm plucking this out of the air. Okay, I'm not taking this from anything but the example of a £500 flight, and I'm doubling it to get a flight out of country. That to me is like an emergency pot. How can I get a flight in 3 hours from now if I'm in Thailand out of the country? Okay, whatever case that is for. So we're going to double that flight, and we're going to put £1,000 for an emergency fund, right? Take it as you will, but that having another grand available is a pretty cool thing. So that's the number we're rolling with. Sue me if you don't like it. You won't get much. Okay, I'm just going to skip on now to add in this whole breakdown into a total cost, and then we can discuss, mate, some other stuff in the chat. So we have gone now through, again, I know if you've been here since the start, we're going through it again. This is like living the dream in Thailand. 30 days living on the island of Koh Samui in the south of Thailand, on the islands, mate, okay, with money disposable. You've got money in the bank. You want to go and have a great time for a month. And look, if you can afford it, don't just go for a month, mate. Extend your visa and stay for 3 or 6 months, because you probably will want to. If you can afford it, this is the budget that we're working on, all right? And this is going through all of the elements and having a great time with very limited restrictions. So first of all, just to go over this again, I know the sound of my voice must be doing your nut in, because, mate, it's giving me a massive headache. So we started out with accommodation, okay? 30-day breakdown, all right? All of these are. Accommodation in a really nice villa is going to be £535. Then we moved on to bills, okay, which is electricity, water, gas, Wi-Fi. That is zero. That is zero cost per month, because we book our accommodation through Airbnb, and all of that cost of bills is factored into the main monthly price, which is this right here. All right. The third is going to be food. That includes groceries for your villa and also eating out in restaurants / street food. We went with a higher daily budget of £15 a day, which works out as £450 a month. I know how extreme that sounds, and for £15 a day on food is a lot, especially in Thailand and what I'm used to. But again, we're talking about those people who kind of don't care how much they spend on food. They want to have some Western comforts for dining and cuisine, so they're spending around £15 a day. Moped rental, again, this is optional. You could spend £5 a day, because that's how much usually it costs to rent a moped, anywhere between £4 and £6 a day. So we've averaged out at £5 a day, which over the course of 30 days is £150. Okay, let me know if I'm moving way too fast here, because it feels like I'm speeding. A SIM card, all right, from the likes of 7-Eleven with unlimited data, I think, cost you around £7 or £8. I know Duncan got one the other day for like 6 or 7, so we've bumped it up to £8 for the month. Unlimited data SIM card. All right, mate, it's hurting my hand a little bit. The next one is going to be Transport. Now, I know I mentioned the moped rental, which is just here, but say if you did have a moped, you're not always going to be wanting to ride it, especially after a few beers or just CBA, mate. So that brings you down to number 6, which is transport. And if you were to do 2 daily trips at around 25 to 30 minutes on your moped taxi, which is going by the app Grab, okay, that would cost you £120 for the month. So each individual trip, and we're doing 2 a day, would cost around £2. So £4 a day, and that is your monthly cost for Grab bike taxis in Thailand. Okay? I hope this makes sense. Let me just go over a few questions. Ryan, what's going on, mate? Ryan says, hey to you, brother. I hope you're good, and thanks for dropping in on this Friday night. The Weird World of Whitaker. I actually said that correctly then. So go on, mate. Paid about 200 Aussie dollars, about £100 give or take, for comprehensive travel insurance for a month. There, perfect. So our averages of working out the travel insurance is pretty spot on the money, mate. Pretty spot on the money. Thank you for confirming that, bro. That's awesome. And Totally Raw says, good day, mate. I presume you're from Australia, Totally Raw, but please don't be offended if you're not. I'm just going by the good day, mate. And I've recently been in Perth in Oz, and I had a great time, and I'm looking forward to returning. So do let me know, brother. I didn't mean to point, but do let me know where you're watching from. That, again, is Totally Raw. I hope you're good, mate. Waza says, bro, I live in Australia. I'm half Filipino, but it's cheap as, and I love it. Been all over Southeast Asia. Mate, that's awesome. Waza, do you actually, so are you saying you're from Australia, but now you live in, but you live in the Philippines? Or are you saying you're from Philippines, you live in Oz? I presume you're saying that you live in the Philippines and it's cheap and you love it. I believe so. Because Oz isn't cheap. It's like part and parcel, similar to the UK. Benny Global says, I want to open up a hostel resort in Philippines. Mate, I think that'd be a great idea. What part of the Philippines would you open it in? I am not too well versed in the country of the Philippines, and I think I should be at this point. I think at my traveling career, I should have been to the Philippines by now. And you know what? I want to go and check right now on the chat, guys. Why don't we check how much flying to the Philippines for Chrissy Boy is going to cost in, let's say, the month of January, February? I said I was going to go to Pakistan in January, but let's take it as an example, right? All right, this should be fun. Let's see about the Philippines, how much a flight is going to cost me to get from London to probably Manila in the Philippines in January. I love doing this. It's like a weird little hobby that I do on Skyscanner. I do it like several times a day. I don't know why I punish myself when I haven't got the money, but all right. So we're going to go from example. This is going like AWOL from what we just talked about, but this is a little extra rendition from our chat. So if I was to go from, and you can have a look at this too, from wherever airport you might want to go from, or to, whatever. We're going to go from London to the Philippines, open airport style, any airports in those countries, and we're going to go in January for one adult. Chrissy Boy. All right, so have a look, mate. And I don't know what's in season now, what's out of season, but it's coming up as Manila, which is the Philippines capital, I think. It's also sending my love to Philippines at the moment because a typhoon has recently hit and it's been complete devastation. So sending all of the love to my Filipino gang. Manila for £209 with one stop. Let's dive into the nitty-gritties of this. All right, mate. So January and February are around the same prices for flights. It's saying these are on the cheaper days that I can go for 200 and I can go on the 25th, which is down there. Here. I can go for £210, which is about, for totally raw, you in Oz, that's going to cost around $420 if you were living where I am. It's probably much cheaper from, where have you said you're from? Melbourne, mate. So, bros, let's see, mate. From London to Manila. Oh, mate, it's going to be a rough flight. It's going to be a 2 stops, so you're going to have to take 3 flights. It's going to be for 43 hours, mate, which is just shy of 2 days. It's going to cost you 200 quid, and it's, that's going from London Gatwick at 2:30 in the afternoon and arriving at 6:30 in the evening, pretty much 2 days later into Manila. Let's see where that stop is, or those stops, should I say, as a plural. So you're flying with EasyJet and Scoot. It's all right. First flight is from London to Athens in Greece. Then you've got a 11-hour wait, mate. Crikey. And then, mate, you've got an 11-hour flight. No, you've got a 14-hour wait in Athens. Sorry, I was looking at the one down. And then you've got an 11-hour flight from Athens to Singapore. Then you've got an 11-hour wait in Singapore. Good job. It's a cool airport where you can fall asleep. And then from Singapore to Manila for 3 hours and 40 minutes. Mate, that is a rough journey. But I would definitely take it. Anyway, that's going from, sorry, that was a complete off the mark thing that I just did. I kind of just got really selfish with my desires and looked at flights to the Philippines. Anyway, where were we, mate? We were down to gym membership, which is going to be £20 for the month. And we're not talking about Muay Thai. We're talking about your generic gym memberships with weights, machines, cardio equipment. And then laundry is going to be £20 a month for, I don't know, a bag full of dirty, sweaty washing, £5 a week. Partying, mate, you're going to go out once a week on average. It's up to you. You can hit 2 or 3 nights a week. It's up to you. Just increase this number right here. You'll spend 50 quid, mate, a week on booze and partying, which is going to amount to about 200 quid a month, give or take. Massages, 2 a week at 400 baht each session, which is going to be £20 a week, £80 a month. Obviously cheaper if you just do the one massage, but a full-time massage, a really good one, about 400 baht. Yes, you can get them cheaper, more expensive with happy endings. Obviously, just don't do that, mate. Just go to a bar, pick up a chick. But yeah, so that's going to be the massages per month. And then travel insurance, as our mate has just confirmed in the chat, the Weird World of Whitaker, for a month of fully comp travel insurance in Thailand is going to cost you, give or take, around £100. All right. And then this emergency fund is going to be completely separate to what we're talking about. But I don't know, if you need that peace of mind to having some extra money in your bank account, you know, maybe to have an emergency flight for whatever reason out of country, it might be 500, it might be more. So an emergency fund, which for me would just be like emergency beers, that's £1,000. You might just want to keep £1,000 in your bank account for whatever else. Okay, but for the most part, this right here, excluding the emergency fund at the bottom, is going to be our total monthly expenditure for a month in Koh Samui in Thailand. So let's just add that up, mate. I've got my piece of paper right here saying total per month. So I'm just going to work out on my trusty calculator. And whilst I'm working these numbers out, feel free to drop a question or some silly comment in the chat. And if you want to send me £1,000 for my emergency fund, mate, you are more than welcome to do that. Oh, mate, that's funny. But I appreciate the donations, especially Mr. Tony, mate. That's really helpful. And I'm looking forward to putting that donation to good use in Morocco in 2 weeks' time. It's going to be awesome. And lots of good stuff to come for the channel, and I'm just not saying that. Like a lot of people say, oh, we've got a lot planned for next year. No, I've got some. When people are zigging, when people on YouTube who makes creators are doing their thing and they're following this trajectory, amazing. I'm about to zag ever so slightly, or you could say in a big way, still keeping the travel content, but I'm just going to do it in a different way, not a different angle. Don't worry, no one's going to be coming with me and filming the adventures, but it's going to be different, and you're going to love it, that's for sure. And I think it's going to definitely enhance the viewer experience and engagement for you absolute legends. What am I doing on this phone? What am I doing? Calculator. Okay, so let's work out these costs, bros. 535 quid for accommodation, mate. 0 quid for bills and utilities. For food, we're going in expensive for £450 a month. And then we've got a moped rental. Again, that's optional, but we're adding it in anyway. £150 for the month. £8 for a SIM card, unlimited data plan. Transport, 2 daily trips with a Grab bike. It's going to be 120 quid for the month. Gym membership, another £20, super important. Laundry is going to be £20 for the month. Partying, £50 a week on booze, £200 for the month. Then we've got massages, 2 really good Thai massages a week, £80 a month. And then we've got the fully comprehensive travel insurance. We've just added all of that up, which is £100 for the travel insurance, fully comp for 1 month in Thailand. And then I think that's it, mate. Let me just go over, just cross-checking. Okay. So, some people might think this is expensive. I personally do. But some people might think this is actually a really good amount of money to be living the dream in the south of Thailand. £1,683 for everything that we just covered there. £1,683. So that equivalent in US dollars is 2,100 USD. So $2,100 for any USA viewers who want to know that conversion of currency. All right, mate, that ain't bad, eh? 1,600 quid. How much did I say it was? Yeah. 1,683. So that is your total, mate. You know what? That is something that I would love to kind of work towards, because I think that's a great number, especially living in a nice villa that you saw at the start of this, and for everything else that is there. And for, a lot of these costs that we've put here, you might not even go partying. So that 200 quid a month for partying, that brings it down to £1,400 a month. And you might not want 2 massages. That brings it down a little bit more. And there may be some other stuff that is deducted naturally because you just don't enjoy it or you don't do it in your routine, that slips these costs even further down. So that, I would say, is like the top end, £1,683 a month. You could, that's what it is. That's what it is. And all of the details for those people who have just joined, I have, I've added up all of the costs of how you could live the dream in Koh Samui, amazing island down the south of Thailand, for a month or multiple months on a budget that you can relax and really, really have a good time without stressing about money. So let me know if that's helpful. I'm now going to go into the chat, man. I'm like a little teacher. Look at me. Look at my notes. Look at my notes. All right, let's go over some of the chat, mate. I thought that went in the sink then. It didn't. Okay. Waza says, yes, brother, that would be sick to Benny Global. Benny Global, who wants to open up a hostel resort in the Philippines. Waza says, I have a holiday house there that we can stay in on our travels in southern Leyte. I presume you mean in the Philippines. I do not have a clue where that place is, so that would be awesome to come and see. But best of luck, Benny Global, if you decide to go with the construction of that hostel Filipino dream. I think that would be awesome. Richard Pinheiro says, Brother Chris, Brother Pinheiro, Brother Ricardo, what's going on, mate? Brother Chris, keep it rocking. Your consistency will get you to the place you want to be. I appreciate you. And also I appreciate, just, mate, we can just have a good time. And in our day and age, we can really, we can go far if we're willing to do it and we're disciplined and all of that good stuff. So whatever you're doing, guys, any goals that you've got, you'll smash them, mate. It's all up here, lad. It's all up here, mate. JD said, just got back from Thailand. It's amazing. And I'm from Wolverhampton in the UK. Chiang Mai was my favorite place. Oh, yeah? And did you get Bangkok belly? To finish the question, mate, tell us why you like Chiang Mai so much. That's really cool, actually. And greetings from Wales and UK. I hope Wolverhampton is not as cold and wet as it is down here, mate. It is non-stop raining for like 9 days. Chiang Mai, but I don't spend a lot of time in Chiang Mai. I was up there a few weeks ago, and I did enjoy it, especially for the price of like a hostel I paid for, which was like £1.20 a night. But yeah, I'd be keen to know why you enjoyed Chiang Mai as your favorite place, because usually people would say down the south of Thailand. So that's awesome. For your follow-up question, asking, did I get Bangkok belly? No, actually. And, I actually never have got ill from Thai food. I have had like a virus, like a 24-hour virus, but I am very confident that that did not come from any of the food in Thailand. That came from, I don't know, some sort of weird culture thing. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but I caught some sort of flu or something like that, a Thai cold. But yeah, mate, what about you? If you had the old Bangkok belly, I hope not. I tell you what, I've had Indian belly, and that was rough, mate. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed Thailand and Chiang Mai was your favorite place. That's cool to hear, bro. Totally Raw, yes, from Australia, mate. Totally Raw also says from Melbourne in Oz. Amazing. I was in Perth for like 3.5 weeks, lad. So yeah, mate, keep checking on the lives over the next few months, and there will be many. I can assure you of that, because I will be heading back to Australia next year, probably like, I don't know, the 4th or 5th month of 2026. So if you're in Melbourne, mate, let's crack open a few bevies, lad. It'll be fun. Yeah, thanks for being here, mate. BKK Seagull, and I presume that's Bangkok Seagull. Chrissy Boy, enjoyed your Thailand vids. I lived on Samui back in the early 2000s. Go on, mate. Thailand will forever be in my heart, but half thinking I need a new destination. I feel you, brother. That's exactly why I kind of left this time. After like 7 months in country this year, I felt like, even though Thailand has tourist fatigue, I felt that I had Thailand fatigue on the whole. And I was starting to get very frustrated with the country out of my own frustration, not to do with Thailand at all. So at that point, when you start to wake up a little frustrated with your surroundings, and that could be in any country or any place, usually the best thing is to sit on it for a few days, see if it's some other emotions that have cropped up. But if in your heart it is the place that you need a change from, then yeah, duck out as I did. Don't sit on it for too long. Move around. But yeah, mate, I agree. Maybe it's not a new destination, Bangkok Seagull, that you need. Maybe it's maybe it's not a new destination in Thailand or surrounding Asia. Maybe you need to go for a few weeks in a new continent, such as you need to go and like rip it up in Colombia for a few weeks, or you need to go to Africa and you need to do, I don't know, some voluntary role in Africa with the rhinos, or conservation with turtles in Costa Rica. I don't know. Like, you can do anything, can't you? So maybe a new continent is your answer. Graham DeLacy is back with it, mate. What is going on, bro? Graham DeLacy, totally raw. I'm from FNQ. You would see setting fire to myself before you see me in Melbourne. Oh, goodness, mate. Melbourne, I can't comment on any other place in Australia, but but Perth, mate. I've only been in Perth. I was down in the city and then up in the hills. So I know I would like to travel around all of Oz. I think that'd be awesome, and I'd like to, make my own thoughts and experiences of the place, despite what people say. But mate, I appreciate it. Yeah, Cairns. I definitely will come to Cairns also. That'll be cool. For Graham also says, if all plans go ahead, I hope to be in Thailand around April of June or June next year. I will also be in Thailand in April for like 4 or 5 weeks next year. So if that's the case and you're knocking around, I'll probably be stationed down south. Exactly what I'm talking about now, actually. Probably on a lesser budget, mind. Yeah, give me a shout, mate, and we can have a little knock around, share a bevy. Or 12. Okay, mate. That's crazy. Knife crime in Melbourne, mate. It's probably not as bad as knife crime in the UK and parts of Europe. It's absolutely ridiculous, eh? But yeah, we'll definitely come over to Cairns too. We call Melbourne Mexico. Oh, mate, that's interesting. Maybe, mate, I think, I honestly do think that people think about South American, Latin American countries like they're horrendous with danger and crime. Yes, they are. They can be for sure. But what other place in our current state of the world hasn't got that right now? Mate, you go to some UK cities like Birmingham and Manchester and all of these places, mate, what is going on? You wouldn't think it's the UK. It's just not so Great Britain anymore. And look at all the violent clashes and the storm that is going around. You see it all the time in the news. I turn away from it, mate. I don't want to know about all that stuff. Well, you're aware, but you also ignorance is a little bit of bliss. You don't want to accept the fact that your country is falling head over heels into a huge pot of shit. So, mate, I think Latin America is awesome. I would definitely go to Colombia and hit it up there for a month. I think it's awesome. Anthony boy, Anthony, you absolute legend, mate. First of all, Anthony, you just jumped on the chat. I want to say apologies, mate. And I've been saying in this chat that my communication is shocking, and that's mainly because, well, mate, there's no excuse. I need to get back to you and a load of people on WhatsApp and Instagram, and my apologies for the late one, but I'm so glad you've shown up here now, Anthony, and I hope you're well. I hope you're on the mend. Send my love to the family and friends over with you, and yeah, mate, I hope to meet you in the near or not so near future, mate, and we can have a good crack together. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, mate. I appreciate it. Absolute legend. And I will get back to you soon. All right? Soon. It's probably better to just call me, mate. Call me on WhatsApp and be like, Chrissy boy, you suck at communication, mate. But yeah, cheers, brother. And yeah, people look forward to Morocco in 2 weeks from now. It's going to be a good time. And I'm actually saving up at the moment for a piece of equipment that is going to enhance the experience for our journeys around the world. I think it's going to be awesome. This is one thing that I'm going to save up for and I'm going to make happen. And you guys are going to see a huge change, not in terms of a drastic vlog or travel change, just a huge positive change in the experience of watching your boy venture around the world and have a laugh, mate. It's going to be a good time, that's for sure. Yeah. Benny Global, accommodation is so important to feel okay. I've ended up in shite places and felt like shite, so I've switched up to find a better place to stay. Mate, same here. Sometimes I'll stay in hostels and then it'll get to 2 a.m. and I'm like, oh, mate, I have really messed up here, So yeah, I agree. It's it is better if you've got some money, mate. Don't stinge on your sleep. I don't sleep much when I travel, and that's probably why I look like I've aged 20 years in the last 6 months. But if you can protect your sleep and you can get your 8 to 10 hours of beauty sleep every night and not drink too much and bang up the cocktails and any other substances that you like, mate, look after your sleep. And if it costs you a few more quid to get a much better sleep, then I guarantee you it will be worth every penny. So Benny Global, I appreciate that, mate. Yes, Anthony, all is good, mate. Life is good. I'm back in Wales for probably the next like 6 weeks, but I've got 2 trips in that 6 weeks that I'm doing. Number 1, Morocco, and then number 2 is going to be Scotland. Then I'm either going to go back to Pakistan or over to Cuba, if I can. Cuba. Yes, mate. Anthony again. Yeah, give me a call in the next few days, bro. And if I miss you, I will just call you back. So that'd be cool. 888 Jinxie is in the chat. What's going on? No, Anthony, you absolute hero, mate. You did not just do that. Ha! Mate, you legend, brother. Give me one. Anthony, raise him, brother. Fist bump it. Go on, mate. Mate, you absolute legend. You just sent me $50 US, mate. That's huge. That is huge for me. That's just bumped up my YouTube earnings from 350 quid a month to 375 quid, mate. So, mate, that is going to help hugely in Morocco in 2 weeks. That will literally pay for nearly 7 days of accommodation for me in Morocco. Or the likes of like 10 meals, mate. That's really cool. That's really cool, mate. And also, Anthony, bro, come on. You got to get over to get some collab travels done with your boy, mate. Get it sorted. I hope you're rested, though, bro. And yeah, you're regaining the good energy, ready to hit the road, Jack. And mate, thank you so much. That means like the world. These donations are like massive, and the new piece of filming equipment that I'll be getting for a little reinvention for the channel that's gonna really help. So thank you so much, mate, for that. That's awesome. And yeah, big fist bump again, mate. Proper. And give me a call in the next few days, and I can say thank you over the phone. And thank you, brother. 888 Jinxie says, are you suggesting that next time in Thailand, take the long train 3rd class to Chiang Mai to get loads of sleep? Oh, mate, I know. That is like, I know. I was like, I should have just took the plane, because there was a flight that day for like £21, like $30 US. But me being the idiot that I am, I decided to pay, I don't know how much it was. It was like, a couple of quid for like that 15-hour train, mate, which done me in so much to the point of suffering, where I got off like 9 hours in. I jumped off the train into like a local town, and then I ended up sleeping in that town and spending money on a hotel anyway. So it cost me like near enough the plane ticket price, or if I had just booked a sleeper train that night for like a couple of quid more, it would have been all right. But it did serve the journey well. And it did show you some like suffering and spontaneity with the travel. So it's not all negative. And I appreciate you bringing that up, because that I was so done with that train, mate. I was like, I don't know why I've done it to myself, but then I do. So, oh, mate, Anthony, let me just love that donation that you sent. Also, Pino from England. Ruben, you just dropped in the chat, mate. And I would also like to thank you for your consistent donations as well, because there's been times where you have sent me some financial backing where I've literally been on my ass, and without you sending some of that money to me, mate, well, let's just say I would be sleeping, or would have been sleeping, with the street dogs, mate. So Ruben, who's just jumped on the chat, as well as Anthony and Mr. Tony, and those other guys who've been very, very, very kind to send some money my way. I really appreciate it. Ruben, thank you so much. Also, for those people who sent me some money through PayPal before, I've got a new link now. So don't send any to my previous link. My new link is in the description of each vlog and also in the pinned message to this chat. But let's move on from that. Once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my warm Welsh heart. I appreciate it. Graham DeLacy, for all those that want to help Chrissy Boy out with cash, try not to send it through YouTube. They take 40% of donations. Yeah, I didn't even know that. That's actually really annoying. I think I have pinned there's a pinned message at the top for anyone who anyway, I don't want to talk about that all the time, but thank you so much. And yeah, YouTube does take a little chunk of that money. But mate, Anthony, all good, bro. All good. Yeah, Ruben, Pino from England. Sitboy T. Yeah, Dayan Diolch. Mate, that's some good Welsh. Pino from England is talking some Welsh to, well, not a fellow countryman, because Ruben Pino from England is from the Philippines. And I was just talking about the Philippines, mate. And when should I visit? That's a question. I know we've chatted back and forth about the certain months are good to visit. So let me know, Pino from England, Ruben, bro. Let me know which month is good. And now, sorry, Graham, mate, I just missed your question. What camera do you use? What would you suggest for someone looking to get into vlogging? Can you give me like 30 seconds and I will literally show you instead of telling you? Okay. Oh, mate, I've not sat up. I've not sat up in like 2.5 hours. Oh, mate. I need also to get a new pair of trousers, mate. So, Anthony, that cash that you just sent, mate, maybe I can invest in some new trousers. What do you reckon? Also, tomorrow, mate, we're gonna go through like a live workout because your boy is slowly, mate, he's slowly getting back in some decent nick, right? After being on the road. So I'm going to show you the workouts that I try to do when I'm traveling in a space that is no bigger than this right here. So I'm going to show you tomorrow on a live, going to take you through like an hour workout that I try to aim to complete 3 to 4 times every week when I'm on the road. And we're going to do that in here or outside, mate, which will be interesting. It'll be something different. And I'm sure for those people who will be... we'll be heading out on the road very soon, be that Thailand or another place. Hopefully you can take that workout and you can apply it to your own traveling routine. But where were we? Graham DeLacy. Mate, where were we? I'm going to show you the whole setup, right? The whole setup. Chrissy Boy, you just need to lose like a little bit of this, mate. A little bit of the love handle. And then a little bit of the Welsh tatters, and then I reckon you'd be looking sweet, mate. Okay. The setup, bros. Okay. Let me get these earphones back in. Okay, this is replying to Graham DeLacy's question about what equipment do I use. So let me break this down for you, mate. This right here is the GoPro 12. This is what I use. I used a 10 before, but I managed to be able to afford this mid last year, and I changed to a 12. This was like £250, I think, 400 Aussie. And it comes with one battery, which is this here. It charges, and maybe you can film for about an hour without it dying. And then I use like a 120 gig micro SD card, which is in there. Slots in there really easy, as does this. Just goes into the little chamber, and that's pretty good, mate. It lights up through the little click on the side. And then, mate, this is pretty much how I vlog. Hey, boys and girls, what's going on? My name is Chrissy Boy. Like, comment, and subscribe. And that sort of stuff, you know? So, this has already got some really good audio, this GoPro, but I got a media mod mic, I think this is called. So it just enhances the audio a little bit. So this is what you get when you buy a GoPro, and then you buy this separately. So this is the media mod. So I just slot this in there like so, really easy. And then that clips around, mate. And then from there, that's the off button. Let's turn it off for a second. And then this also is an attachment that you can get. This is just a GoPro selfie stick. They're expensive and they're not the best because they extend only to like that, as opposed to if I was doing a still shot and I wanted a tall video, well, as you can see, I can't stand that up from the floor up to eye level. So I would preferably get a much longer selfie stick so I can do still shots of talking with amazing valleys and landscapes behind me, as opposed to being like all the time. But yeah, that extends. And then with the actual camera, you click this out here. This is what connects to the selfie stick. These little points. This dog here on me. Okay, and then I slot this in here, mate. Makes me want to vlog. And then the attachment here. Graham, is this what you wanted to see, bro? I'm not even sure. I think I've already shown you the GoPro, so maybe that's all you wanted, but I'm giving you a full breakdown, mate. And voila, this is me. This is me. This is literally all that I use and have used since starting out. This is it. Can I give you any more here? Not really, mate. If it's super windy, this already is quite guarded, so you don't get that sound when you're vlogging. But if you do, this little foam patch comes with this media mod, which you can buy for, I'm not sure how much it is, but this clips on like so. So say if you were riding on a moped, on the back of a moped, or it was just a really windy day, you would then plug that onto the side, and that would help to negate the whooshing sound of the wind. But I've used it like twice. This is me. This is all I use. That's it. That's me, mate. Simple, simple, simple. Yeah, also, for those people who are wondering about the cam equipment, is if you were to jump into a river or any sort of pool of water with the media mod mic, you will ruin it, you will kill it, and you will have to go and visit its grave to put flowers on the turf. If you were to go to like a pool party, you get this connector with GoPro. This comes with just your basic purchase with the GoPro, and this then slots onto the side and it clips in like so, right? And this is without the media mod. So say if you haven't got the media mod and you were just using the GoPro, this is how you would that's how you would wrap up the side of your GoPro. And this is how your GoPro is now waterproof. So if I was to dunk that in here, it would be waterproof. I didn't do that because I'm out of water, but you know what I mean. Because that then on the side protects the battery and the SD card and all the internal components. But you would not want to jump in a river or a pool with this on. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, that is all I use, mate. That is me. Oh, hold on. Down. Thanks. Wait. Thing. Yeah. I think I explained that for like 6 minutes, mate. So yeah. Yeah, I hope that was helpful. Anthony, back at you, brother. Are you going to film any videos while you're home? We would love to see the area. I'm sure you probably want to rest. Mate, do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I will be filming, and you know, the longer it takes to pick up the camera in terms of vlogging, the more anxious you get about vlogging. So I need to actually just go and do it. You know, nothing to it but to do it. I need to take my own advice on that and just like turn the camera on, walk outside and show you the area. I will be doing some vlogs. I will in the next few days. I've got my brother coming down. He lives in England, and we'll be doing some hiking vlogs together, some eating vlogs. I'll do a day in the life. As boring and as mundane as it may be, I think it's important for me to show the place that I live and I've been brought up, and surrounding areas such as some nice sights, hills, some walks, some hikes, some local food. So I definitely will. I'm getting enough rest, trust me. Your boy is being lazy as F at the moment. I'm watching some Netflix. I'm chilling. I'm sleeping like 10 hours a night, mate. So, it's good. It's good. But I definitely will add some Welsh vlogs into the mix, mate. That's for sure. So, yeah. Anthony, also, we're going to catch up in a few days. But where are you right now? Where are you right now, bro? Graham DeLacy, mate, I hope that was good. Let me know what camera equipment you're thinking of getting, if you're getting into vlogging. Thanks for the energy, Chrissy. We love the energy, mate. Effort. Sorry, Chrissy. Mate, you're good. Pino from England, aka my mate Ruben. End of January in the Philippines is the best time. Okay. What? End of January until February. What? So like 2 weeks. Ruben, do you mean 2 weeks? 2 weeks in Philippines, like end of January until February, like January, February in the Philippines. That's all. Or do you mean like, is that a typo? It won't be rainy and the weather shouldn't be too hot for you. Okay. Mate, I do like heat though. I do like sweltering, sweaty heat. But yeah, okay. Anthony, do you find replacement batteries don't hold the charge as much as a GoPro, a brand battery? Mate, to be I've heard that's the case. Like I've got a white Enduro battery in there, and that's from GoPro. That's much better than the blue batteries, but I've never had any replacement brand batteries. But even the GoPro ones, they run out of battery pretty quick, especially if you're in a hot climate. That really affects the battery life, and they can kind of go down 20 or 30% faster as if you're in a normal cooler place, which is annoying because I don't always travel with a power bank, and I can't always go in and use cafes, Wi-Fi and plug sockets. But anyway, we get on with it. No worries, Graham, mate. I hope that's been helpful. Cheers, brother. Mix, what is up or what's up? What's up to you, mate? I hope you're good. I like the ZZ on the end of your name. So Mick Z, as like, there's a cool twist to that. And it also implies that you like to sleep. I also love to sleep. So Mick with a ZZ. We can be friends, bro. What's up? Mate, Anthony, fish and chips. I have got a few amazing fish and chips places around us. And if you want me to have a fish and chip binge while talking about some stuff on a live one night, mate, I will do it for you. I will do it for you. There were some bangers. And maybe I can do like a big mukbang and we can all just have a laugh. Have a laugh at the state of my eating, that's for sure. But yeah, mate, glad to hear that you're almost healed. About 2 to 4 weeks and you'll be able to travel. Mate, I'm looking forward to catching up on WhatsApp soon. And we can go over this on a more personal, in-depth level. Because I don't think many people know what we're talking about here, just you and I. But yeah, Anthony has been out of whack on the travel for a while, and he will soon be back on the road. So good to hear it, bro. Good to hear it. Graham DeLacy says, I'm not looking to take over YouTube and become the biggest, but I wanted to document my move to Thailand, etc. Yeah, very cool, mate. Just get yourself like a GoPro 9 or 10 secondhand if you want. And then get yourself a couple of batteries, selfie stick, mate. Get yourself an attachment, like one of these, for your USB, for your laptop, where your SD card goes in. And then, mate, you can upload them to the laptop and then crack on, mate. Send them to friends and family, upload to YouTube, whatever you want to do. Do shorts on Instagram and TikTok. I don't know, whatever your gig is, mate. But I think it's important to document, that's for sure, because it's something to look back on. It's kind of like your visual diary, as to say. So I think that's a cool way to do it. Plus, it's easy to film. Like, you just pick up something in your right hand or left, and then you click. Look, I'm vlogging now. You know, mate, it's easy. So good on you. Pino from England, Ruben, January till March in the Philippines would suit you. So January, February, March. Okay. I'm sure you wouldn't want to experience typhoons and flash floods while you're there. No, I agree. And I know there's a typhoon and flash flood going on there now. So I'm sending my prayers and love to the people of the Philippines. All right, mate. That's really helpful, actually. So thank you so much for that. Guys, this has been awesome. And I am stuck as to where to go first next year. I'm stuck between number one, Pakistan/Afghanistan, because I'll do both of those countries if I was to do either. The second is Philippines, and then the third is Cuba. So again, Pakistan and Afghanistan, or Cuba, or the Philippines. Let me know your preference and what you would do, where you would go if you were in my shoes, because I want to know your opinion, because I am stuck out of those three countries. Complete first world problems, bros. I know, but I thought, why not share it with you, get it off my chest, as to speak. But yeah, mate. Chrissy Boy, Graham says to document for your future kids and to have a laugh with their dad. Mate, way to go. Make sure you definitely have a laugh. The same as Chrissy Boy's philosophy indefinitely is, mate. I think this is all right for a merch thing, mate, because it's easy. It kind of speaks to the philosophy of what most people want to do, and that's just have a good time. And yeah, it's a pretty cool shirt. Anyway, guys, I think we've covered most of it. I would like to say thank you so much for being here. I know it's been a long 2 hours, and I've juggled back and forth on the details of what we've covered. But to reiterate, ever so sharply and quickly, mate, what we just talked about is moving to Thailand, Koh Samui specifically, and the breakdown of costs for 1 month of doing so with money at your disposal and not worrying too much about being so disciplined with money. You can have a great time, or as I've stated, living the dream in Thailand for 30 days, mate, in Koh Samui on the island of southern Thailand. And you can do that for every component that we've listed here, from accommodation to transport to gym memberships to travel insurance. And we've even included the non-happy ending, happy ending massages, mate. And that all is going to cost you a total of £1,600 a month, around that, or $2,000 US. So yeah, mate. Consider it, especially if you're young, free, single, and you've got a bit of moolah, mate. Have a good time. Now, I've got to settle down, go to my bedroom, and watch some Netflix and try to sleep. So thank you so, so much once again. Big shout out to the amazing people who have been in the chat and tapped away, and also the people who have donated, Mr. Tony and Anthony, and of course, Ruben from Pino from England. Thank you so much, you absolute legends. You don't know how much it means and also how much it helps. Next adventure in 2 weeks from time, Morocco, baby. We're going to have a belter. But for now, whatever you're doing, whatever time it is, and whoever it is that you're having a good time with, mate, enjoy yourself. I will see you probably tomorrow, Because why not? All right, mate. Big fist bump to finish then. 3, 2,